Episode 166 of True to Size.
What's going on, everyone, and welcome to True to Size. We are a weekly podcast centered around the wild world of sneakers. I will be your host today. My name is Lawrence Hopkins, and I am joined by the rest of the quarantine at Canada Got Soul, Mr. Joel Hernandez.
Yo.
Mr. Alvin Martinez.
What's up?
And it's been established that our guy is the king. Oh, sorry, fuck. I messed it up. Fuck. I messed up my line. I pulled in Alvin. We gotta keep it. I'll try it again, though. It's been established that our guy is the monochromatic king, but he's also one of the godfathers of sneaker vintaging. I've never really been sure if it's pronounced flan or flan, but I am sure that this week's guest is Mr. Jonathan Cran.
Wow. That is...
Flan or flan?
I think it's flan.
Is it flan?
I don't know, actually.
I actually have no idea.
But that's a heavy
intro,
a big bar, nonetheless.
Yeah. I think it's flan. I think Filipinos pronounce it flan, if I'm not mistaken.
Leche flan.
Leche flan.
Flan. I can see that.
Yeah.
It's French, right? Like it's a French.
I think it's a French thing. So maybe flan.
Dessert? Yeah.
Maybe flan is the American version. Anyway, we could talk about this the entire day, but no one... Cran, thanks for being here, man. This is dope. We appreciate taking the time. Of course.
Yeah, man.
Anytime. Thank you for having me on.
I bet you never knew that you would start off ever actually having your name rhymed with flan. So it's a great... great.
And I'm looking to branch out. Like, I think I did the coffee shop thing. It's run its course. Now it's time to get into
Cran's Flan. Are you crazy?
Cran's Flan. Cut the check, yo.
It's a food truck. I can see it now.
Yeah, there's God's Plan and there's Cran's Flan. It's easy.
That's it.
All right, enough of things that rhyme with Cran. We've got a great show for you guys this week. Our Fire Round sees us talk about ice cream and sneakers, and This Week in Kicks features the most expensive sneaker ever in the world, ever. After that, we've got another hypothetical question to answer during NSR, and just one mistake to reconcile during EEE. Finally, we're going to jump into things with Jonathan, learn what got him into sneakers, why he wants all of his shoes to look super old, and talk about some of his favorite pairs. But first, Joel.
Fire round.
Oh man,
wow,
he's on it.
Better. You shocked Cran. Cran got scared.
Whoa, we're really doing it.
You just unvintaged all his sneakers with that, man.
They all became one.
You blew the sail paint right off of it.
Seriously.
Yes, the Fire Round. We like to start every show with a quick hitting question from you, our listeners, and this week's question comes from me again. And this one is this one's crazy because you know when you're like having a shower and you think of like the stupidest shit? This was one of those questions. And of course, because we do a sneaker podcast, those shower thoughts often are sneaker shower thoughts. But anyways, so
understandably.
Of course, it's normal. Anyways, in the spirit of Cran's visit and knowing his affliction for the Nike Dunk Low SB Stussy colorway, inspired by Neapolitan ice cream, what other ice cream would you like to see themed on a sneaker, and what would the model be? Imagine standing in the shower and thinking that. Like, what kind of fucking freak does that?
It's super valid.
It's very valid. So I'll go first while you guys have a second to think about it, because of course I was in the shower and I had lots of time to think about it. Mine is mint chocolate chip. Yeah, see, that's why I had to go first. You can do mint chocolate chip too, but mint chocolate chip, I think I was just standing there like, man, I love mint chocolate chip ice cream. And that's how the whole thought process started. Give me a mint chocolate chip Jordan 3 with like a super soft suede upper, all in mint. The elephant print also in mint. So we'll do a sail midsole because Cran is here. And then the elephant, like just the detailing within the elephant is like black or like dark brown. So like basically a tonal mint upper with a little bit of dark brown / black and detailing and a sail midsole. I would buy that shoe. Hell yeah.
That's fire.
Hell,
I'm going to mock that up.
Hell yeah. Please paint your Amamaniere into mint uppers.
That's hard.
Alvin, give me an ice cream shoe now.
I'm gonna go chocolate chip cookie dough from Baskin Robbins because, in my opinion, they have the best one. So it like the vanilla that they use or whatever that is, the actual ice cream is already kind of patina.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do it on a jam. I didn't think of the silhouette. I'll go New Balance 550.
Oh my God!
Just totally switch up the game.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Shit. So obviously, like the upper is going to be predominantly like that patina. The midsole is going to be the cookie dough, which is pretty much like a gum-ish.
Mm-hmm. Light
I
brown.
guess it's like a really dark light brown, whatever. And then we'll go black outsole for the chocolate chips. And then we'll accent like the laces will be like a Cran's coffee shop shoelace that he dipped in coffee.
Okay.
Nice.
And then just small accents, just throw in a little bit of accents of like the black to show more of the chocolate chips in there.
Nice.
Okay. For some reason, when you said chocolate chip cookie dough, I immediately imagined it on a Jordan 3, and I realized I was imagining the Amamaniere Jordan 3s because they're quite close to
daydreaming.
Pretty close.
to a cookie dough. But Joel, give me ice cream and give me sneakers. Let's see it.
All right, ice cream is gonna be a strawberry ice cream, but chocolate dip.
Oh.
Okay, the upper is gonna be a tearaway dunk high.
Oh.
So just like the chocolate dip, it comes apart, right?
Flakes
so
off.
You can peel off the dunk high, the panels, and it'll reveal like chocolate, like strawberry kind of like pinkish colored kind of uppers kind of thing.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Damn.
And then on the inner liner, I'm gonna do like a quilted chocolate, like a colored kind of liner. So it's got like the stripes or the lines like a cone.
Like a cone.
Fire.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
like
Damn, nice. That's
pick,
nice.
yo.
Holy shit.
Nice.
This is all Nike ID is about to be booming tonight, boys.
And I'm starving. Right
Yeah. All right, Cran. I do know, like I said, the Stu CSB is one of your favorites.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Give me a different ice cream.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in the Dunk Low, the Dunk SB Low.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the very random ice cream that I used to get as a kid here near Hamilton. There's a place called Hewitt's Dairy. I don't know if you've ever been there. They have this tiger tail. Have you ever guys had tiger tail?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. It's
Dude,
like orange.
okay,
with
so
the
it's
chocolate, the black licorice
it's
kind of,
orange, but it's black licorice stripes throughout it, so it looks like a tiger. So I think I would do like a Dunk Low with like toe box orange, side panels orange with this little bit of black stripes, and then like the eyelets and everything like that. Everything else black, and then like some like fur on the heel and the liner. So just like that tiger vibe.
Nice.
I think I'd be into that. I think that'd be dope. Yeah.
If Nike or New Balance are listening, we cut the check first of all.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
For real.
at least make sure we're up first for pairs because those whew, I like all of those. If you would like to submit a question for the fire round and have us answer it on the pod, please shoot us a message on Instagram or email us at canadagotssoul@gmail.com. Next up is the CGS picks. Each week we all pick an upcoming sneaker to analyze, dissect, and give our thoughts on. Then we decide if it's poop, scoop, whoop-de-whoop, or Alvin's trademarked phrase.
Super duper cute.
Super cute. So I'm going to go first because I said so. And my pick this week is a Jordan 1 because we don't get a lot of those anymore. So when they do come out, they're special, you know. And it's being dubbed the Electro Orange Jordan 1. It's kind of like, I think I saw it some places referred to as the Shattered Backboard 4.0. I don't know. It's got a black toe, so it's got the OG color blocking, and I think that's kind of where it ends for me.
Right.
There's an orange collar, and then that part underneath the wing, I don't know what that's called on a Jordan 1. It's also orange. Predominantly, it's a black and white shoe with just, orange outsole and a little bit of orange detailing inside of it. And there's not much more you can say. It's a Jordan 1 coming out in 2021. We get one about 7 times a week. July 17th. I'm not a huge fan of them. Maybe if it was dubbed like the Halloween Jordan 1 or something like that, I would have been more interested. But it's just, Orange used to be special on Jordans. I used to get excited for orange on Jordans, and now it seems like it's every other day we're getting an orange Jordan something. So, meh. They're meh. They're all right. They're simple. I think that in 2015, 14, this would have found its way to the outlets. I think that now it's an $800 shoe. So, we'll leave it at that for me.
Damn.
Alvin, what do you got?
I have the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Ghost Green.
Is that the new where they're bringing back the old OG shape of the Jordan 1 Low?
Yeah, so basically it mirrors the Eric Costin Air Jordan 1 SB.
So good.
Except instead of navy, it has the ghost green. I mean, the ghost green's a dope summer color. I might get it darkened or something. I don't know. I might dye it like Cran did the Air Force Ones or something, and just get it darker a little bit. But that mini swoosh though,
the mini swoosh, it's nice.
It hits, and the tongue is perfect because they went back to the OG tongue.
None of that extra padding. It's perfect. Yeah,
it's perfect, man. And it's cool. I like it. I'm a fan. I don't know if I'm scooping though, just because It's all right. The color is not really me. I don't know if I would rock that. I feel like it's more of a Lawrence color.
Yeah, but I'm not. A Jordan 1 is low is not a me.
Do that because it's a low.
I think you mentioned it. Like, I think there'll be a lot of people doing customs on that for sure.
Yeah.
Especially depending what type of material that the green parts are. Like, is it all leather?
It looks like it might be a nubuck.
Yeah, like a nubuck. It looks really smooth. Yeah, it's there's no shine to it, so it looks super flat. But like, it looks like a nubuck, something you can customize.
Yeah, that'll be interesting for sure.
So
I think
send
people
my
will get
pair
on
over
that.
it, bro.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, these are super cute. We'll see if I cop. If I can think of a colorway that I can send over to Cran, then I'll scoop.
Do it.
Joel, what do you got for us?
All right, so Nike's doing a Ken Griffey Jr. Tribute to him. They're going to be dropping Vapor Max Pluses, his Air Griffey Max 1s, and they're also dropping my pick, the Air Max 90. This shoe right here is pretty dope. Details galore.
Yeah.
It's a predominantly white and gray upper, but they do the baseball stitch around the collar.
And
they have they call it the Northwestern green, like the Seattle Mariners green, over the air bubble. And it looks like there's a mini swoosh on this thing, man.
That's not even mini, bro. That's a big swoosh.
That's like a big swoosh. Yeah. So it resembles the his Griffey Maxes.
Yeah.
Like the way it's sitting like on the upper top of your foot kind of thing. But it's pretty huge. So yeah, I take that back. It's not a mini swoosh.
It's a big swoosh.
But they got red in it as well. It's got his 24 and his backwards cap logo on the inner liner and as well as on the tongue tag. But yeah, man, pretty dope looking shoe. These drop sometime in 2021. I'm going to guess probably around maybe July or so, around summertime.
It's good.
Yeah, man, keep a lookout for these, man. Backwards cap Air Max 90 Ken Griffey Jr. Yo.
They're doing more of these, like, for lack of a better term, novelty sneakers, where it's like the Valentine's Day one where they had like the little pocket and like you opened the envelope and there was like a little heart and like the popcorn Air Force and like all those kinds of things. Yeah. I like it, man. Like shoes are supposed to be fun. Like they can't always be like I said, a Jordan 1 in a really clean colorway. Like sometimes they should be fun and quirky and like a novelty. Like, yeah, those are funky as hell and no one else is going to be seen wearing these except for you when you walk out. Like that's cool to me.
And it's not relying on a collab either, right? Like it's just like something fun and you don't have to, there's not that added bit of hype to it that causes it to maybe not be able to be attainable. So I think I love that stuff.
No, absolutely.
Those Valentine's Day Air Force Ones are awesome.
Yeah, they're doing a lot more of it. They used to do it mid 2000s like all the time. Like that's the whole SB craze. Like there was a bunch of Air Maxes like that. It's just happy to see it coming back slowly.
Absolutely.
Cran, I believe you brought a shoe for us as well to discuss.
I did?
Not brought. Brought mentally.
Oh, mentally, yeah, of course. I was like
virtually.
Yeah, I think I'm super hyped for the 30th anniversary Union Jordan, the one that they leaked the other day, which I'm pretty positive is happening. It's the gray with the teal on the collar and the teal back tab. I think it's better than both of the others that released for the Jordan 4. I personally wasn't a big fan of the colors of the Jordan 4, like the guava and the I guess just like the black and the blue pair. Off noir. Yeah. I don't know. Like I appreciated what he did, because I think it takes some kind of guts to kind of just like totally change the way that people are perceiving a Jordan 4 when it's like there's so many purists. Yep. But I got the guavas and I was super happy about that. Like, not to take away from that. Like that was another great release, getting rid of bots and whatnot. But I think this gray color with the teal just is more my style. And I think it's a super nice shoe for their anniversary. I'm interested to know the reason why it's teal and whatnot.
Yeah, the story will be cool. Yeah. They seem to be doing really, really well lately with their storytelling. I mean, they have been since they've been releasing shoes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I'm still not sure if I'm on board with the Union 4. I'm not going to lie. But this, I definitely would think. Yeah. I think the guava is still my favorite of the three colorways. But I definitely like this teal. It's definitely, like you said, it's a Cran shoe. It's monochromatic with a little bit of...
It's just a little bit of something, It's wearable. I think as I'm getting older and, I don't know, I say that as if I'm like 50, but I just am like trying to buy pairs that I'll actually wear and that are more wearable and that I can just like throw together with any outfit. So I think that's a shoe that's like, one of those that you can just have that little bit of pop of color, but it's still pretty tame overall.
Yeah, absolutely. With your full gray outfit that
blending into this wall.
Yeah. Man, I love shoes. Next up, This Week in Kicks. This is the part of the show where we discuss the current headlines and happenings in the world of sneakers. And there's now, so for the last 2 years, it seems like once again, every month there's a new world record for the highest price ever paid for any sneaker in an auction. And once again, we have another one. This one might take a while to get beat though. There is now once again a new world record price for a pair of sneakers. And so this week we saw the auction to end all auctions take place, and the result was the highest ever recorded sold price for a pair of sneakers ever anywhere. Craziness. So the pair in question is none other than the one-of-one Air Yeezy Pro 1 prototype, worn by Kanye West at the Grammys in 2008. And this was also the pair that was kind of like the big coming out party for the Nike and Kanye collaboration. So it was a big deal. This sneaker is very, very iconic. The sneaker itself had actually been floating around eBay for a couple of years, almost a decade. The first time it ever sold was on eBay, and it was for $50,000. It's already a lot of money for a shoe.
That's insane. Yeah. For thinking about back then. Yeah.
And then $75,000 a couple years later on eBay again. And most recently, last week, it sold for a whopping $1.8 million.
US.
Yeah. 10 million Canadian dollars.
Yeah.
Or half a Bitcoin if you're following that.
Seriously.
1.8 million. So, I mean,
that's crazy.
It is crazy. It's a lot of money. I definitely see the cultural relevance of the shoe. It's kind of the shoe that started everything that we're doing now in terms of this was the first ever non-athlete to get a deal with Nike. This opened the door for Travis Scott, Cause, any of you, all these other places that are getting collaborations now are because of this really, really major release. It was worn by Kanye at the Gram. It's really culturally significant. $1.8 million is a lot of money though. I don't know.
For real.
And the thing is, this was actually, I looked into it a little bit more. It was bought by, it's an investing platform where you can invest in parts of things.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I think it's called Rares. I looked into it. I'm going to try and get that guy on, actually, the guy who runs Rares, because he's a friend of a friend. But so it's basically you can own part of that sneaker by quote unquote investing in it, and I guess if down the line that shoe ends up selling, then you would take home the difference or the percentage. So you can put $1,000 into this $1.8 million sneaker and maybe make $50 in 10 years. Who knows? But
yeah, I think I saw a couple cause pieces on on that platform too, like the actual prints, the ones that are worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting platform for sure. But it's still crazy that it sold for that much. But to your point, I'm not totally surprised either. Like I feel like we're all probably in like the 30 to 40 age, and when he wore those at the Grammys, like I feel like I don't know. I remember sitting on my couch watching that, and then like seeing his feet, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
like what?
Bomb went off.
Yeah. It was an immediate sort of like, "Holy shit" kind of thing. So I think culturally, it's just so significant.
It's one of those things that you can't really put a price on. So I'm not, especially for a platform that plans on selling parts of it off anyways. Like, I'm sure they would have gone up to whatever it would have costed to own that shoe, because it is, honestly, it's a priceless shoe. It's one of those shoes that 10 years from now, Nike is going to try and buy back from whoever owns it anyways. So owning it
and
now
I feel that
like,
PJ Tucker has a lot of those.
Oh
like
my God.
He posted it yesterday too, I guess, after the news broke, but he posted the like Kobe Cheetah inspired sample. Yeah. He's got a pair of like all black ones that aren't quite the same as the Grammys, but they're like pretty close. And then like another pair of like another very rare, I think it might've been an all black Yeezy too. Yeah. I was just like, dude, like he's holding on to some pairs that are probably going to be worth ridiculous
whatever he wants. Yeah. When Nike, and the thing I was thinking is, and this is maybe just a pipe dream and maybe wishful thinking, but imagine the day when Kanye goes back to Nike, the amount of money that those kinds of shoes would be worth. Like a shoe comes out, like let's say even the Union 4, for example. The Union 4 original pairs are going to go up when the new one comes out, because that's just what happens when an off-white comes out. The old ones are more money. Imagine a prototype one of one when Kanye, if and when Kanye comes back to Nike in whatever capacity and starts releasing shoes, all the original ones, but a prototype or a sample, priceless times 1,000. Like
I think that's going to happen anyways. Like I think
so, eh?
Because I feel like now that is a mainstream news story, and I think that's going to start driving up the prices of some of the original Yeezys, Yeezy 1s and 2s. But because I've been even trying to because I had the black and pink Yeezy 1, and I sold it like an idiot. But I was like I was a broke college student, so I was like, just whatever. And I sold it, I think, for $800, which was like nothing at the time. But I've been looking for the net pair for a while now, and it's just I can't find a decent price even for worn. So I can't imagine now. It's probably going way up.
Yeah.
Man, Kanye, come home, man. Just come home. I could just play Homecoming and come home. All right, next up, previously in Kicks. This is the part of the show where we review our latest pickups and recap the latest happenings in our sneaker lives. I'm gonna assume that Cran has probably the sickest recap of pickups, so we'll let him go last. I'll go first because it's just one thing. I a couple of things that I picked up, but I won't talk about until they actually show up, because jinxing and karma and cooties and all that. But I picked up the Brian Espiritu throw rug. I think it dropped on like Monday or Sunday or something. He dropped it at like 12:30 a.m., like midnight, and I just happened to be awake and immediately was like, need it. So cool. Came in like 2 days or a day after, and dope. Really cool quality, and he's doing more, so if you missed out, then keep an eye out on his page. But yeah, shout out to Brian Espiritu. I do want to know, though, what makes it a throw blanket and like not just a blanket? What's the difference between a throw and like a blanket? Because I don't know. He calls it a throw.
Felt that because you throw it on the side of your couch. Like I could be totally wrong and I'm making this up, but every time I've seen those specific blankets, they're always like thrown over like the arm of the couch or like a chair.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's definitely not it, but thank you for.
Is there? Do you know why?
I don't know why, but I feel like that's not it. Because you throw it.
Yeah, it's just like you just throw it on the edge of your.
And the way it lands is.
Yeah,
it makes it look cool.
It's thrown.
It makes it look thrown.
Thrown. Actually, like thrown. I think technically you can't even place it down. You have to throw it.
Yeah, I actually. You know what? Yeah. When I got it, I tried to put it down and it wouldn't go. It felt like it just wouldn't leave my hands. I had to actually, chuck it, if you will. Well,
Yeah,
I
because
don't
if
make
you
the rules,
fix
guys.
it, if you fix it, it'll be just a blanket.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's maybe it's
not
the
a
way
throw.
it's displayed. Like if I were to fold
Yeah.
it neatly, it would be a blanket. But when I
Yeah.
throw it, it becomes a throw. It's just
It's a throw.
it's whatever
Yeah.
you want it to be. Shout out to Brian. We'll ask him why it's called a throw. I don't know. It's a cool name. Alvin, any pickups for you?
Yesterday, was it yesterday? No, it might have been the day before. What's today? Wednesday? So Monday, the good family over at Adidas surprised me with the Bad Bunny Easter egg forum low. And in
Crazy.
hand, those are pretty dope, man.
Crazy
Like,
shoe.
color blocking is crazy. Quality is actually amazing. And it's a dope shoe. Can't wait to rock it. Just don't know when and where and how. It's definitely like a skater shoe though, because like they added the extra tongue and it's super super thick if you put both.
Right.
And then even the collar, it's like super duper thick, and but it looks mad comfortable. So we'll see what happens, man. But yeah, love that shoe. Thank you, Adidas. And then today they sent me the last pair for the ZX A to ZX series. It's the ZX Torsion, so the ZX 0000. Gotta take pictures of those. Those look dope. They look super retro. And yeah, man, same thing. Like dope colors, man. It's predominantly white. It's got some hints of blue on there. And yeah, man, super excited.
Those Bad Bunnies
nice.
they're cool, man.
Oh, and I got a notification on Monday that my Cran's coffee shop T-shirt X Crisp came in the mail. Super excited to actually go and walk and get that from my mailbox. But
He's been saving it.
Super amped for that.
You're gonna love
man.
it.
I'm
You're gonna
saving
love
it,
it.
and I'm gonna throw it on right away too. So super amped.
I gotta say, Bad Bunny is crushing it with Adidas.
Yeah.
I like both of those forum lows. I think the forum is a great sneaker on its own.
Mm-hmm.
But he's an interesting individual in his own right. Like I really like that he's kind of always out of the box doing whatever he wants, and I think it's being pretty represented in that shoe. I think they're both really nice colorways.
Yeah, Adidas in general is kind of just like, oh, you want to make something, just do whatever. Show us when you're done, and we'll make it. Like it seems like they're super hands off. Like just make it and come back when you're done.
I feel like they're at that point right now, right? Like they're at a point where they can kind of give that free reign to a lot of creators, which is pretty awesome. It feels that way, certainly. Like it doesn't feel like they're kind of making people work within a mold. It kind of feels like they're letting them express themselves, which is pretty awesome.
It's the Kanye model, man. You can't let Kanye do it and then no one else can do it, right? So they let Kanye do whatever he wants, and it worked. So they're like, all right, Sean, you want to make a shoe with some strings that go on the ground? Go for it, buddy.
I hate those so much.
Whatever you want to do,
like
Sean,
those.
do your thing. Joel, anything for you in the last week?
No, nothing
Nothing
for
for Joel.
Nothing.
Cran, all right, shit on us. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, let's go.
Set me up for failure. I got lucky last night on the Travis Scott Jordan 6 raffle.
Shit. Nice.
So I entered for those and got that checkout in 30 minutes email, which I felt like a lot of people got it because I was going on Twitter and I saw, maybe these are quite stocked. And then from the people I talked to, locally, it's like, I guess it was pretty hard to get. So got those, which I actually like them better than the green pair. I know, Lawrence, you and I were beefing in the comments.
I don't think so.
But again, I think the green is really nice, but I think that, what is it, khaki is a little bit more wearable. And then I got the I bought them resale, but I got the reverse bred 85 highs that came out last year for a custom I'm doing. So I'm excited to do the custom because I don't think anyone's done it on Instagram yet, and I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm doing something with those, which I'm hyped about.
Okay.
Ooh. And please, one more time. I don't know if it was within the last week or not, but the big one, the big special one from a friend of the show. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, what?
The threes. We're talking about the threes.
Okay. I just wanted you to say it.
The threes, yes, the threes.
Of course. Yeah. It's a little bright, but yeah, dude. This Amamanier threes, they sent them over to me, James Whitner. So shout out to James if you're happening to be listening.
Oh,
but,
he is.
sneaker of the year for me. And I think sneaker of the year for a lot of people. amazing story, amazing materials, and just, front to back, like everything about this release was perfect. So I think it'll go down in quote unquote sneaker history for a while of how great the release was and how great this sneaker is.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see it being one of those ones we talk about for a while. It's almost halfway through the year now. Not really. It's only April, but we have to do sneaker of the year so far soon. Maybe in a couple months or a month or two, we'll do sneaker of the year so far. That's always a fun one. For me, I don't have the threes in hand yet. I'm not going to, hopefully they're coming. We'll see if I get
You're good.
Ship confirmation. I'd never want to speak it before it comes to my door I get that UPS notification, but, I have to see them in person, but for me, it's still the Dunk, the SB Supreme, and the Mean Green is the shoe of the year for me so far still. But it's early. It's very early. But we'll do that episode in a couple months. Thanks for making us all look bad. Cran, all right, next up, thumbs up, thumbs down. In this part of the show, we give our opinion on various sneaker-related topics with zero context or discussion. All we're allowed to say is thumbs up or thumbs down. And I don't know if this was even real or not, but it made me laugh. So we're going to operate under the premise that it was real. And it's I don't know if you guys I saw it floating around on Instagram, the fake sneaker background, like a big cardboard cutout of like a sneaker wall that you could put behind you in a Zoom call, and you would look like, ooh, look how many shoes I have, but it's just a big cardboard cutout. Thumbs up, thumbs. Yeah, the fake, the sneaker influencer starter package. Thumbs up, thumbs down to that big cardboard thing backdrop. Alvin.
Thumbs up, man.
I'm also thumbs up.
Yeah.
Joel.
Thumbs up, yo. That's pretty dope.
Cran.
To be honest, I'm pretty thumbs up on it.
I'm shocked with that. Okay. I'm happy about it, but I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Next up, NSR. We talk about sneakers a lot, so in this weekly segment, we're going to take 30 seconds out of the show to discuss something completely irrelevant to the world of sneakers. And first of all, we got a lot of rave reviews for our conversation last week on would you rather have 100 geese on your side and face 5 wolves or have 5 wolves on your side and face 100 geese. People love that one. So we're going to do something sort of similar to that one again. This one is, would you rather spend a week in a forest with no tent or spend one night in a haunted house, a real haunted house, like a spooky, really actual haunted house?
Let's get it.
Alvin, what are you doing?
Haunted house.
No,
bro.
You're stupid.
Haunted fucking house, bro. Easy. That's easy. I'd record everything and turn it into a fucking ghost show and be like, oh my God, did you guys hear that? The door just opened. And bro, haunted house, hands down. If that's just one night, I don't know if I can survive in a forest for how long?
For a week in a forest.
Nah, bro, I can't do that shit. Are you crazy? I'm going to a haunted house. I can survive in a haunted house for one night, then in a forest without a tent for like a week.
Alvin, it's a real haunted house. You can't survive then. You're not going to survive the night. No.
In the Philippines, I used to live in a haunted house. That's a softer thing, bro. Come at me.
Even haunteder, man. Haunteder than that. I'm going with the tent. I'm going with the forest. Give me the forest for a week. I'll sleep in leaves on a log. I don't care. Keep me 100% away from that haunted house. I can fight off anything physical in front of me. If it's a coyote, a bear, whatever. I know the tools I need to fight that kind of creature. If there's a ghost or some sort of demonic presence, how am I going to... I don't know what to do. I'm not a Ghostbuster. I don't have this magic vacuum. I don't know what... No, so I'm not going... Granted, I'm not very much into the spooky movies. I'm not a spooky movie guy. But no, keep me away from the haunted house. I will spend a month in the forest with no tent. Keep me away from the haunted house forever and ever and ever. Amen. Joel, what are you going with?
Oh, man. I'm going with the... Ghost house.
Easy,
man. Paranormal, yo. I breed that shit, yo.
Breed that shit.
Yeah, man. Like ghost hunters and shit like that. Yo, I'm on it.
One day, me and Alvin got soul. Me and Alvin SOUL.
Yeah, we'll be like Canada got ghouls.
You guys are no. You say that now. The moment you're in that house and there's a ghost chasing you, it's done. I'm gonna be in the forest like Snow White, and you guys are gonna be freaking out. Fucking Luigi's Mansion over there. Like, no, I'm good. Cran, what are you going with?
I despise camping with a passion.
It's not camping.
So it's the same thing. Like, I don't want to be in a tent in the forest. I'm obsessed with paranormal stuff too. Yeah. And the haunting, I don't know if you guys ever watched The Haunting at Hill House on Netflix.
Yeah.
That was like honestly one of the best shows ever on Netflix. I would want to be in that house for one night.
Boom, let's go. Me too.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
All right, that's where we're going, yo.
Yeah.
Done. Book it.
I'm going in that water, yo.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking freaks, man.
That one house.
What's wrong with you? You guys have serious, deep issues, man.
That's what I think about people who camp. Like, how do you want to go out?
Are you dumb, bro? Why are you going camping, dog? Like, jeez.
I'm not camping. I'm doing anything except for going to a haunted house. I don't care. I'll live on a boat, wherever else except for a haunted house. It's just the other option that's not haunted house is what I'm choosing. Jesus, you guys are fucked. Next up, errors, edits, and e-messages. We are pretty smart guys, but from time to time we make mistakes. So if you catch us slipping, hit us in the DM and we'll let the world know that we goofed. And I did make a mistake last week. This one comes from Weekends with Walt. He criticized me and criticized me heavily for I said that the Hamburglar from McDonald's was purple and fuzzy, and quite obviously that's Grimace from McDonald's. So I do apologize to anybody who was alive for that phase of McDonald's who I offended, because by the time I was McDonald's eating age, I don't think that those fellas were around anymore. And I was also kind of shocked at how many people were not aware, how many non-Canadians were not aware how vicious Canadian geese are. Like, we had the conversation last week, and so many people, they just don't know. And I think it was because, when geese fly south, maybe they're chilling when they're on vacation down there. Like, all the Americans are like, these geese are so pleasant. And then when they're back up in Canada, they're just fucking miserable. Like, they're working their 9 to 5 or whatever. But like, geese
vacation over.
Yeah, geese are not to be messed with, man. It's just a thing. So be careful out there, all my Canadians. It's geese season now. They're coming back. They're standing in the middle of roads. They're walking wherever they want. It's goose season has arrived. All right. So the reason we're all here, the reason Cran is here mostly, it's time to get into it with Cran. And the way we like to start it off with our guests, Jonathan, is with a game called 21 Guestions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 21 questions. You have to answer them as quickly and as accurately as you can. There are no right answers, but there are also no wrong answers. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Question number 1, air or boost?
Air.
Question number 2, red or blue?
Red.
Question number 3, crew socks or no-shows?
Crew socks.
Question number 4, pineapple on pizza?
No.
Oh my God. That's the wrong.
I'm Italian. I can't. It's sacrilegious.
It's sacrilegious. Yo.
I disagree. Question number 5. What is a color that belongs on every sneaker?
Black.
Oh, yeah, monochromatic king.
Patina.
Yeah, I thought he was going to say sail, yeah. Question number 6, glow in the dark or 3M?
3M.
Question number 7, half size up or half size down?
Half size up.
Question number 8, what sneaker do you wear the most?
Air Force One.
Question number 9, original boxes or drop fronts?
Original.
Question number 10, Dunks or Jordan 1s? Ooh, now we're getting tougher.
Tough.
Dunks.
Whew. Question number 11, salt stain or grass stain?
Salt.
Question number 12, what is the square root of 100?
10.
That is correct. Question number, we got a math genius on the podcast. Question number 13, favorite sneaker brand other than Nike Jordan?
New Balance.
Question number 14, what are 3 sneaker heading essentials?
Cleaner, sneaker cleaner, shoe trees, and yellow paint.
Diluted yellow paint.
Yeah,
Question number 15, what is the closest planet to the sun?
Mars?
Mercury. Mercury is the correct answer. Question number 16. What is the most comfortable sneaker that you own?
The Air Fear of God 1.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a super comfortable shoe. Like crazy comfortable. Like blew my mind.
Wow. I was already sold on them, but now prices are through the roof now that he's gone. Question number 17. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Question number, is that also an Italian thing? Like,
it's Italian thing, yeah.
It's an Italian thing.
Anything that doesn't make sense to me is I chalk it up to Italian.
It's an Italian thing. Question number 18, infrared or volt?
I think infrared.
Question number 19, spell charcuterie.
CHARCUTERIE.
That is correct. Big ding ding.
It's Italian.
It's an Italian thing. Question number 20. What is your number one grail?
These.
Yeah.
No one can see you. Yeah, I was going to say.
Sorry. 1985. The thing that I hold in my hand.
Yeah. What you're looking at right here.
Chicago Jordan 1, 1985.
Boom. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's the closed captioning version of what you just did.
Closed caption, yeah.
Question number 21. Would you rather receive, even though you already have it, would you rather receive your number one grail or 3 other pairs from your top 10?
Ooh. Damn. Top 10. I think I'd still go with the Chicago's.
Still number 1.
Yeah.
I like that answer.
Double up.
All right.
Number one.
You did all right, and it's probably because it's an Italian thing, but that was well done. I wasn't keeping score, but it felt okay. So before we get into the vintaging and the customizing and all that stuff that you didn't even think was going to be a thing, what got you into sneakers in the first place? Like, how did this whole obsession really start for you?
I think it was in high school. I think it was when I started getting into it. It was right before SB kind of popped off. It was like 2004, 2005 maybe. And I was just obsessed with, obviously Kanye. Kanye was a big sort of influence on me. So I was really following everything he did and going to all the tours and things like that. But it got me into the world of like Bape. And I think that's what got me into the streetwear was Pharrell and Nigo and that whole craze. Like I remember going on like eBay and trying to find those like running dog jeans, and they fit like so massively and whatever.
Huge,
but yeah. And I was wearing it like I didn't look ridiculous in like grade 11. But
and you're not a huge guy. I'm assuming in grade 11 even smaller. So
yeah. Like my height hasn't changed since grade 11. I'm still like 5'7" and an 8. I don't know, 5'8"
and 1 8. That's your hat size, bro.
But then I think it was that got me into just like streetwear culture in general, and sneakers for me wasn't like I was into skate shoes at the time because I was skateboarding in high school as well, wearing like Etnies and S, like ES. Costin was on S, and I was obsessed.
Yes,
I was obsessed with Costin in high school, and his S model was like just like this tan, chunky shoe that just, I don't know, it was just like so beautiful to me at the time. So that was probably like my first like exposure to just like the sneaker that was, something different. And then there was a local skate shop in Hamilton, because I grew up in Hamilton, from Hamilton. Flat Spot skate shop.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Trevor, just the biggest G ever. So at the time, it was like 2006. He had an SB account, and he kind of exposed me to Nike SB. I had no, idea about any of that kind of stuff, and he was getting in some of those crazy dunks at the time, like De La's, and he even had a few Tiffany's because he was close with like Diamond's rep for Canada. So yeah, like he kind of like popped it off for me. So it was like that kind of time where, I know it probably sounds cliche now that SBs are back, but it really was the first sort of wave of Nike SBs that got me into sneakers and sort of getting into collecting and the storytelling and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
And if we ask him when Jordan 1s are cool again, he's going to say, yeah, man, the Jordan 1.
Jordan 1, man.
The Jordan 1
1985.
really
3 years. 3 years before I was born. I was so
huge into loves watching Mike play in the Jordan 1.
Yeah, seriously.
What's kind of keeping you into sneakers now? Like we've mentioned, your taste and your style has changed a lot. It's years later. It's impossible to get sneakers. What's keeping you in the game these days?
I think there's a big push, and I mean it's similar to like the custom work that I'm into, but I think archival, going into getting old pairs that maybe you couldn't get back in the day because just from like a financial aspect, like when I was, 17, 18, 19, could never fathom like if you wanted to get a pair of diamonds or whatever, like a shoe that you couldn't really attain. I think for me now, what I'm going after is like older pairs that I missed when I was younger and trying to find those sorts of gems that I can get into the collection that have a little bit more meaning because they were something I missed back in the day. I think a lot of people are kind of getting into that too, just like going back and finding old gems. And there's a lot of like dedicated Instagram sellers who are doing that, like Gusto the Ninja. I don't know if you follow him. Like,
that guy's dangerous.
Dangerous. He's got so many good pairs, so many good prices. So yeah, I think for me, obviously I love anything that has a story with it. Any kind of storytelling is what sinks me in for any sort of new sneakers that are coming out or new collaborations. But yeah, I love kind of going back and getting old pairs. I think that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. The only problem is now all the old pairs are expensive, but that's
that's the thing.
That's the big caveat to that whole story. That keeps it interesting, though.
That's a big asterisk right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Can't actually afford them, but would like to go get them. So, so for anybody listening who may not be familiar with the name Jonathan Cran or Cran on Instagram, we'll plug it again, Cran. If you're not familiar with the name, I'm sure you've seen stuff he's done. He's that guy who makes newer shoes look older, or one of the guys who started making newer shoes look older. One of the first guys that I saw, at least, doing it in my small bubble of people I follow on Instagram. But so how did you kind of get started doing that? Because I feel like it's kind of commonplace. Like it's 2021, and it seems like it's just. I mean, brands are going back to doing it, and that when brands first started doing it, it was received with like the biggest backlash you can imagine. Like people were trying to scrub clean the AJKO that came aged, or like the Infrared 90 that came aged, and now it's like brands are going back to it. The Manier Jordan 3 is a great example of that. How did you kind of get started into it in a time when it was like not the coolest thing to be doing at the time?
I think like I picked up a pair of, speaking on going like picking up old pairs, I picked up a pair of the UNLV dunks from the vintage pack, which was I think 07 or 09, and they came sort of pre-aged. And I just loved the look of it when I got into him, because I didn't realize that like they actually went in and like did a little bit of scuffs and some things like that to the upper. But I think, the reality was just I was bored. Like I think, when quarantine hit and, we were all sort of sitting at home, not doing a lot, there wasn't like, as someone who's like trying to like create content, whenever I can. And obviously what I do on Instagram, I was trying to think of ways to just have a little bit more fun. I've always thought of the idea of customizing, but it was never something where I was like, oh, I could be someone who like, totally changes the shoe. And like, it's like this completely different look. So I just started kind of like experimenting and looking at old pairs I had and what I could just maybe like tweak and things like that. And then I just, after I picked up those dunks, I was like, oh, it could be cool to kind of just see what I could do with some pairs that I have to make them look old. And the first sort of pairs that I did that I posted, now looking back, I'm like, oh my God, those are horrible looking. I was so naive to like the process, right? Because there's like so many levels to it. And it now look like I have a kind of a system in place. So like it's a little bit more of a process that, kind of always ends up looking the same, which is great. In the sense of like how it comes to life. But yeah, back then, like I think it was last March when I started doing it, it was just something to pass the time a little bit and to do something different on Instagram, because I felt like there was a point where sneaker content just started to feel very monotonous. Like it was a lot of the same sort of shots, a lot of the same opinions, a lot of the same just overall approach. And I think still now, like to your point, Lawrence, like I think the vintage sort of treatment's becoming a little bit more accepted. But when I first started doing it, I think it was just me and Filthy. Filthy was the one I would say who like popped it off. And then me shortly after that. And I'm sure there was more for sure, but like just, you know, off the top of my head, I know Filthy was kind of like the originator, but it was pretty polarizing. Like a lot of people hated on it. Like
still is polarizing.
And it's totally fair. Like I think there's a totally valid argument to it of like, if you want your shoes to look vintage, just wear them or just buy old pairs and things like that. But you can't argue, like there's no way that if you bought, let's say, you know, a pair of Chicago's from 2015, even if you wore them every day for 2 years, they would never look like this. Like it would, like I'm holding up the 85 ones, but like it would just never, it would never get to that point, even in like 2 or 3 years, no matter how hard you wore them. So I think it's a little bit of what you had mentioned before. Like if you do want to go back and get like, let's say an 85 one, it's going to cost you a lot of money. So I can totally appreciate that if you want that look, but don't want to pay the, you know, crazy price tag, you can achieve it in other ways. And I don't totally like see a difference in like distressed denim. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to like think about it, like how people get, like, there's no polarization over ripped or faded denim. You know what I mean? And even it's still like fabricated.
The whole vintage streetwear, I'm sure it has something to do with that, why it's popped off, but like vintage streetwear was popping off maybe a year even before last year. And that no one cared. Like the people were going thrifting to find a distress. I mean, some people did care that you were buying a band tee that you'd never heard, but like for the most part, it was like people were looking for like the distressed look and like the older, like the whole 70s, 60s, like you just wanted to look like you had something else, something different. So wasn't for polarizing. And then all of a sudden sneakers get yellowed and everyone's like, whoa, hold on.
Exactly. I like pissed off so many people, so many comments on every post, like, you can just wear your shoes, dude. And I was like, oh my God. I didn't think it would trigger so many people. But
I mean, your response to them should just be, you can wear your shoes. I'll do what I want with my shoes. Like that's
exactly.
It's my shoe. I paid money for it. Like, leave me alone. Go away.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what I mean? Like for me, it actually did quite well for my page. Like I went up a lot of followers in the last year. And I think it's because I, you know, again, as I mentioned, I felt like there was a bit of monotony going on. And maybe now it's like there's a lot more of the vintage kind of thing happening. Like there's a guy like Andu.c on Instagram. He does really great custom work. And same with Chef Huel, I think his name is.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. And they go a little bit further down the pipeline than I do. Like for me, I don't try, I'm not a fan personally of like destroying the shoe.
Yeah, I was
going to
ask, like if you, because I saw a comment, it might have actually been from a friend of the show, Sean Collard, SCollard23, and he said like, some of these people aren't even making the shoe look aged. They're making the shoe look like they were water damaged and sitting in like a puddle for 30 years. Like there's a difference. How do you feel about like that whole, like you said, like breaking the collar, like ripping stitching? Like, are you on that level or not quite?
Like for me personally, I'm not on that level. Like I don't have any pairs that I've done that to. But I think it's like a great thing that people are making it their own, if that makes sense. Like I think it's great that, you know, people want to go and kind of take a sandpaper to the collars to the point where it's like deteriorating. That's your aesthetic. And that's totally cool. Because I think it's, that's like, who am I to say like, that doesn't look good or that's not the way to do it. You know what I mean? I think what's cool about this vintage wave and the way that people are doing customs is like everyone has their way at it, and it makes for, you know, really cool sneakers that are looking different than kind of everything else that's out there. So it's a way to express yourself, I think. And I think everyone's doing a pretty cool job with it.
I was kind of thinking this because, and once again, this isn't me telling anybody, I'm not trying to gatekeep the whole, like, this is what you can do, what you can't do kind of thing. But I was thinking personally from my like personal opinion, what shoes it doesn't belong on. Because for me, there are some shoes where it's like, yes, like the 1985 neutral gray Jordan 1 that just came out. Yes, the whole fucking shoe. Do it, please.
Yeah.
It looks perfect. But is there shoes? Because for me, it's a shoe that not even necessarily not an original colorway, but just like looks so far off of a shoe that should be old. Like I think I saw it, or I've seen it on like those I don't know what the actual name is, but like the UNC to Chicago, where it's like the baby blue toe box and then the red on the heel Jordan 1, and I saw those get aged or whatever, and I was like for me, no. Like I saw it on like a pine green one, and I'm like, okay, like it's original color blocking at least, so it looks like it could belong there. And this can be for any of the four of us, like just when it doesn't really belong. But actually, yeah, we'll start with Alvin. Is there any time you've seen it where you're like, maybe not this time, buddy?
No, I was trying to think of a pair that I would probably be like, what are you thinking? But fortunately, I haven't come across one yet, so I haven't had high blood pressure due to that. But like, I don't know, man. Maybe like just like an actual pair of running shoes, like a pair, like an Ultra Boost.
Okay, yeah.
I would say I kind of like my Boost white for the most part. But again, that's just me. People might like those vintage, but the reason I don't think those should be is because when they came out, it was like
5 years ago.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like you can't really tell me that those were like, oh, it's a vintage sneaker. Like, you know what I'm saying? So maybe something like that. That's just my logic.
That's fair. Joel, have you seen it on anything where maybe the Dior Jordan 1? I think Cran was a massive fan of those, but like anything that Cran didn't like them.
I didn't like those. Yeah.
Anytime you've seen Joel where you were like, that's taking it a little bit too far, or it didn't belong on that sneaker?
No, like I haven't, like just like with Alvin, I haven't really seen anything that was like wrong. But I would think like anything with technology, like on a shop or whatever, like anything with tech, like heavy into tech, they'll look totally off. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can't have the timelines, like be different. You know what I mean? Like if it's an old school looking shoe, then do your thing. But if it's like a newer looking shoe with, like I said, with the tech and whatnot. Nah, man, you can't cross that line, So
that's a great way to put it. The timelines have to line up. I like that. Yeah, make sure the timelines line up. All right, Cran, give us your list of people you're like, nah, you suck.
Just like totally sewering myself. No, I for me, I just have like a rule of thumb of I'm not going to do a custom on a shoe that didn't exist at a previous time. Do you know what I mean? Like, like a Dunk or a Jordan, or you know what I mean, like Air Force One, things that actually have history. Like I saw someone do the treatment on like the Sakai Vapor Waffle, and I just I'm like the ambush Dunk, and I'm just like personally again, no ill will towards the customizer.
Personally times 4, don't worry.
But for me, it's just more like more so trying to look at it. Is it a shoe that has historical ties to more than, a year ago, which for me, it's more like Dunks and Air Force Ones and Jordan 1s and things like that.
And you didn't like the Dior? I actually, and here's the thing. I know I said that, like Joel said, the timelines have to line up, but because it was for Daniel Arsham, and that's like his whole aesthetic is like beaten up and like distressed and like destroyed. I thought it was cool in that sense, but I want to hear your 2 cents on it, because when you shook your head, I was actually kind of surprised that you weren't into it.
I think so. I agree. The concept it made sense for Arsham, just given the future relic aspect of it. So I think conceptually it was, hit the mark perfectly. It's just for me, when you're getting into the collars looking that destroyed,
that was a lot.
Yeah. And the Dior being such an expensive, ridiculous shoe, I don't know. It just, for lack of a better term, rubbed me the wrong way.
Okay.
So I think the concept is great. It's just, for me, the execution, it's a hard one, because you don't know, there's like nuances that you could do on that shoe that would look really nice, and then there's easy ways to make it look overboard. And I think that happens a lot with the vintage custom thing in general. But for me, like the kind of the stains on the white toe box and the cheese grater kind of back heel, just kind of, I don't know, wasn't for me personally.
Yeah, like Sean Collard said, it shouldn't look like it should look old, not damaged and like destroyed and like mistreated and like hurt.
For sure. Yeah.
Do you have, aside from pairs you've done for celebrities, we'll get into that after, do you have any favorites just off the top of your head? Because you've done a large chunk of them now. Do you have any favorites that stand out for you?
Yeah, I think it was the platinum Dunk High that came out.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that? I think it was either early this year or late last year. Yeah. That one, I don't know. It was the first time that I kind of like went a little bit further in the treatment of doing some things to the upper and kind of going along the leather line and dyeing that as well. Yeah. So it was just finding like little nuances to take it a little bit further that I think go a long way with doing those customs. Because again, I think you can overdo it really quickly. So for me, it was like trying to find a way to add a little bit of a personal flair to it without making it look too much. And I think that one popped off really well. And I did about 10 of those after I posted it. There was a bunch of people who hit me up and they had that pair. And it was awesome. I think that one turned out good. And that's a pair that just sticks out to me just because, it was one where I just wanted to push it a little bit. And it was well received.
And I like that you said that like, there's nuances and you don't want to go overboard. Because if you look at an actual aged shoe, maybe aside from the 30, 40-year-old one that's to your right or left, like the pairs that we showed during stacks kind of thing, like even though it's 20 years old, there's still white parts left. It's not complete.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to be tastefully done and not just dunked in yellow paint, right?
Exactly. Like the toe box and the side panels on this 85 are white, like they're fully white,
crispy.
Like it's not like they're fully glazed over on like some yellow thing. Like it's quite white. The only thing, and I think the nuance that I try and hit when I'm doing them is just like the little bit of glue stain that goes like along
the darker
midsole, into the upper, and I think it's things like that are really nice to include. But I think going too much is it because like even to your point, like the collars on this one aren't cheese graded, like they're fine. They're fuzzy and it's like but it's not really destroyed. So I think there's a lot of subtleties and there's a lot of variations on it, but it's cool to see everyone doing something, what I mean?
You did, was it 2 or 3 pairs for Quavo from the Migos?
I did 3, but that was for each of them.
Oh, for the entire Migos clan.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a 2-parter. When did you kind of decide that this is something you could, first of all, sell, be comfortable selling? Like, because it's a big responsibility to take some of these expensive shoes and paint over them and make them look older. And how did the whole Migos thing come about, just generally? Because that's wild.
Yeah. I think it was after, like, I had been practicing on some friends pairs, which graciously shout out Caius if you guys are homies with Caius.
Yeah, hate that guy.
He gave me a few of his Air Force Ones to kind of like, he was just like, do what you want with them, and kind of did a few of those, like the treatments on his pair, and then I just kept doing them on some of my own pairs to the point where, like I said before, like I kind of worked it out to a science. And it's not like it's rocket science. Like I'm making it sound more complex than it is, but it's just like I got to a point where I knew what I was doing and I was happy with the results that were coming with it. And I was happy and knowing that I could replicate that numerous times if I had to. So at that point, then I was like, okay, cool. Like whatever the shoe is, I can,
you know what to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I've worked with different types of leathers and different types of suedes and things like that I know how they'll react with, whether it's a dye or a paint or, that sort of thing. Yep. So once I hit that point, I was like, okay, cool. Like maybe I wasn't even sure that anyone really even wanted this. So when I offered it up, I wasn't expecting like DMs to be like, yeah, I want this, or like I'll pay you X amount or whatever, So it's still kind of like a trip when people hit me up to get a treatment done.
Because you never intended for it to get this far ever.
No, never. I thought I posted it once and I was like, well, there we go. That was cool. So what else should I do? You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like
on to the next. Yeah.
Yeah. But it kind of just parlayed and went from there. And now it's, I try not to
and then
make
an international
it feel like
rap group hit you up.
Yeah. That was interesting. It's funny. So without getting too deep into it, because contractually there's some things, but I'm friends with their PR manager.
Okay.
Through some connections through my work and whatnot, like because I work in advertising during my 9 to 5. So and she was on tour with them or I think at a show, and she was kind of showing them my Instagram, just saying like, oh, like this dude I work with in Toronto, like he's, because they're huge sneakerheads, like massive.
Mm-hmm.
She was just kind of showing them my page and whatnot, and they were kind of going nuts over the vintage stuff. So she messaged me the next day, and she was just like, hey, like the guys would love a pair each if you want to do like 3 of them. And I was like, okay, cool. Like,
imagine saying no.
yeah. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hold off.
More of a country music guy, to be honest.
So it was one of those things where I just had to like they didn't really say we want this pair. It was more like I picked 3. I located them myself and then sent them over to their manager and was just like, hey, like I'm gonna like turn them into these, and kind of showed like the vintage like looks of them, and they were like, yeah, they're stoked, let's do it. So for Quavo, I did the Jim Red Jordan 1 low and turned that into a Chicago, and then the vintage on it. Offset, he did the smoke gray, like the Union thing, like the gray top, black bottom, whatever, red thing. And then Takeoff did the reverse bread lows, and then did the treatment on that and whatnot. But it was awesome. Like super cool experience, super nice guys. And he wore them. Quavo wore his Chicago's when he was shooting and recording the last few tracks on Khaled's album about a month ago. And that was crazy because like I'd never seen him wear it yet. Like it was one of those things where like I knew he had them. The manager was like, yeah, they got them, they love it. And I was like, sick. Can you like send me a photo?
Shout out something.
Like tag me or whatever.
Pay the invoice, like something.
net 30, but no, it showed up on Instagram, and I was like, oh shit, like it's happening. And then it was a pic of him kind of like sitting on the private jet stairs, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then I didn't realize until like an hour later that there was like this whole album of photos that DJ Khaled had posted because they were in the studio recording and he was rocking them then. So that was a real trip for sure. Yeah.
They couldn't just sauce that tag real quick. Like it's only,
just like
it's like 4 letters. 4 letters.
Yeah.
God damn.
4 letters.
So now that's sick. I mean,
that was dope.
People always hit me up asking if I want to listen to their mixtape. So it's basically the same thing.
Same thing. Exact same thing.
So it's not that big a deal, but it's kind of cool, I guess. You're dabbling in clothing and stuff now. Like you did the whole Cran's Coffee Shop thing. That's the website name is Cran's Coffee Shop, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, or has it changed now?
No, that's it. That's the brand. That's the name. Yep.
And what's kind of the excuse me? What's the reason behind all that?
So I was just getting to a point where I've always wanted to start my own brand, like just inherently being in, streetwear culture and everything like that. Like obviously we're all into fashion and supporting different brands. And I've always wanted to get to a point where I would release my own merch, and for lack of a better term, merch. But I tried too hard to think of like interesting names to call it. You know what I mean? Like I was always going back and forth with like, oh, like maybe I'll call it this, and I can like, have this angle and this. And then I got to a point where I was just like, yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking too hard about this, and it's making me not want to do it. Yeah. So then randomly, like when the Mocha Jordan 1s came out, I just dyed the laces with the coffee, and just kind of like, that was just like a fun thing to do, and that went pretty wild on Instagram. And
no kidding.
The reel went crazy, and then I just thought like, okay, like maybe I could sell these laces as just something fun. Like I'll only release like 50 of them, and I'll dye them with coffee and see what happens. And then I just was like, okay, I'll just put it under this thing called Cran's Coffee Shop. And then I just thought like, oh, that's kind of like a fun thing. It's not taking it too seriously. It'll allow me to kind of treat it like almost like a better gift shop or a cactus plant flea market, and just kind of like release things as I want and not really have like a ceiling of what I want to do.
Don't put yourself in
like,
a box.
I can release t-shirts, hats, I can do shoelaces. I can, exactly. It was like, I could pretty much do whatever I wanted because, there was no ceiling. It was like release whatever you want, whenever you want. And that's kind of how I've approached it. And it's so far has been working pretty well. So for me, it's like, I just try to not take it too seriously and just release stuff that I like and that I would want to wear or that I would kind of fuck with. And hopefully the people on the other end are down as well.
Do we have anything coming down the pipeline, or do you just kind of?
There's a few things. No, there's a few things. So I have new era low profiles coming, which I'm excited about, because the new eras, I think that's also just such a culture thing for all of us, like rocking fitteds back in the day, but this is a little bit more adult fitted with the pre-curve and the low profile. So we have one of those coming. I am in talks with a brewery in Toronto.
I thought you were going to say Nike. Oh man.
I wish they released like a coffee Air Force One, and I was like,
where'd you see that?
Yeah, I know. But I'm in talks with a local brewery in Toronto to do a coffee infused beer.
Oh,
so I can't say who just yet, but that's something that's on the horizon. Which, and then eventually I'll probably do my own roast, like a bean, and drop that and just.
Oh, I thought you meant like a Comedy Central roast. Okay.
Oh, I do that to myself every day, man. I just post a vintage treatment. That's the roast. I just go to my comment section.
Look at this idiot.
Yeah.
Why you want your dirty shoes?
You can just wear them.
Yeah.
You just got them. Just wear them for a month. They'll turn yellow, bro.
No.
Way to ruin them, bro. Like, yeah. The roast of Jonathan Cran is just every day.
Every time you post anything on Instagram. Hey, social media sucks. We already knew that.
Exactly.
Jonathan, this was dope, man. Thank you so much for coming. This was awesome. We got touching on a lot of stuff, but there's other stuff we can get to hopefully in another episode. So we'll try and have you back on soon because this was fun, man. Thank you for your time. Yeah,
I appreciate being on here, guys. This was super dope, and it feels like it's been a year and a half since we've seen each other in person. So this was nice to catch up, and hopefully we're back to real life soon.
Thanks, bro.
This is real life.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, but this is it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
This is the Matrix.
Yeah, exactly. John, thanks again. And thank you for listening to everyone listening wherever you're taking in the episode. Please remember to leave a comment, review, follow, and or subscribe. Make sure to check out CanadaGotSold.ca to shop the latest CGS merch, peep the YouTube for our latest videos, and check out CGS Talk on Facebook to chop it up with us. Of course, do not forget to use hashtag CanadaGotSold on Instagram for a feature. I have been Lawrence Hopkins, and you can find me at LDoggyStyles on Instagram. Woof.
I'm Joel Hernandez. You can find me at Joe Dooney, JO_D3OsNEY.
My name is Alvin Quincy, and you can find me at MISTERQ and then Mart.
I think we've said it about 7,800 times throughout the episode, but John, where can they find you?
Instagram at Cran. Pretty much everywhere else at Cran.
And the website, once again, is Cran's Coffee Shop, correct?
Correct. Drops happening whenever I feel like it.
Boom.
Hey.
That's the way to live your life. Cran, thanks again, and thank you for listening to us talk about sneakers for 166 episodes. Please remember to rock your kicks, or if you don't want to wear them, just yell them by yourself. This has been True to Size. We have been CGS and Cran, and we are out. Peace. Jonathan, that was fun, man. That was very fun. Thank you.
That was awesome.
That was super good.
That was so good. Yeah. That was super fun.
The roast of Jonathan Cran. I like that.
Yeah. It was like the low key roast.
Yeah, exactly. Like just slow burn until we got to the very, very end.
Great.
Yeah.